Sir. So first of all, I would like to introduce ourselves. So I am Mesell N Bandoy,
And I am Jerlyn G.
and we will discuss about the assessment of mother tongue. Explain to you about the importance of mother tongue. Before I will undergo deep in our further details what is the assessment of mother tongue. So first, mother tongue makes it easier for children to pick up and learn other languages. Secondly, develop a child personal social cultural identity. And lastly, using mother tongue helps a child develop their critical thinking and literacy skills. It is because mother tongue give a lot of knowledgeable aspects for different language. It serves as specialization learning for the child progress learning process. Throughout the mother tongue, the children can learn and develop their capabilities or ability in many aspects. And yes, of course, mother tongue can help towards the learner progress in many aspects because it will serve the students step by step that they can learn more, and that's the importance of mother tongue. Let's begin to discuss our topic, which is the assessment of mother tongue. So, what is the assessment of mother tongue? The goals for mother tongue-based multilingual education assessment may be numerous and diverse, including formative feedback for teachers and learners, summative results for administrators and academic audiences, and advocacy initiatives at local, national, and international language. Therefore, each of us, we can experience assessment because assessment is truly important for more learning in many aspects. That the assessment of mother tongue it is serve a lot of contribution for the learning process of the children. The significance of it can make the progress of the students to know or identify the strengths and weaknesses of one's children. Additionally, assessment can be power tool as mother tongue-based multilingual education promoted in various contexts around the world. It is important to plan carefully for the assessment practices that will best meet the goals and needs of the programs. In that case, MTB-MLE assessment can be useful regardless of the understanding the program context. Understanding the local, national, and international context, it is prerequisite for developing appropriate assessment. It is important to understand the interests of the various stakeholders and the kinds of data that they find compelling. Therefore, first of all, it is truly important that you will need to know this understanding of the program context of MTB-MLE is the first step to have the development and appreciate in terms of the assessment. And the next slide show about secondly, we have the assessment context. The policymakers, administrators, teachers, parents, and potentially students in MTB-MLE programs have typically participated in a variety of assessment practices prior to become part of the MTB-MLE initiative. They will have a preconditioned perspective and understanding about the value, format, and function of the assessment. This perspective and understanding will impact the way that they participate in any assessment initiative, whether an internally run controlled trial or an internal context embedded assessment. In this perspective and understanding can give a lot of contribution of the participant can learn. In that way, the children can learn their practices and collected a lot of benefit in many ways. And thirdly, we have the adapting and developing context embedded assessment. It means the next step is to consider what existing assessment practices will help to meet MTB-MLE goals and which might be incompatible with MLE goals. Stakeholders' perspective should again be collected systematically, asking them to critically reflect on assessment practices in the MTB-MLE context. In this juncture, of assessment of mother tongue, which is adapting and developing context embedded. Therefore, they give more attention about the advantages and disadvantages they may have for MLE programs and whether the practice should continue to be used or should be adapted or discontinued. Also, it is required to consider and new assessment practices need to be developed. Furthermore, in this juncture, it is a lot of gaining of knowledge that you can find the strength and weaknesses of the capability of the children or the of the children, yes, of course. And that's the end of my discussion, and Jerlyn will continue our further discussion. That's all.
Hi, good day. In creating tools, those who have the authority to make decision and recommendation for MLE assessment may not be the same people who have the expertise to carry out the recommendation. In multilingual contexts where certain languages have traditionally been excluded from formal education, it may be difficult to find individuals who are confident with both a target language and test development. In in creating tools, MLA assessment may not be the same people who have the expertise to carry out the recommendation. It is not easy to create or equate tests because of the different languages. Next is validating mother tongue test. Validating mother tongue test, a procedure for piloting and validating the assessment tools, should be discussed early on and clearly established due to the groundbreaking nature of much of this work. There are many concerns over consistency and quality of materials. In validating mother tongue, there is a lot of process to translate, including the consistent spelling, grammar, and content. But some teachers sharing drafts materials with multiple teachers and piloting them with students will help to determine whether they are appropriate and comprehensible. Lastly, MLE assessment administration. Context-embedded assessment tools will generally be administered by the regular duty barriers of the education system, such as teacher or teaching supervisor. If they are adaptations of existing practices, then there will already be a system in place to collect and use the results. If new tools are developed, the new system of administration, data collection, and dissemination will need to be established. Therefore, multilingual education assessment administration shortly determine who will be carry out about the result profoundly in the assessment. In assessment, we have teacher inputs questionnaire. As you can see, there are a few questions that the teachers given to the student that they need to answer, and this is are the few questions. Bilingual ang tawag kung ikaw kabalo sa duha ka lengguwahe. Tagalog ang atong unang lengguwahe. Multilingual ang tawag kung ikaw kabalo og daghang lengguwahe. Mother tongue ang atong unang lengguwahe. Idibuho ang bituon kung insakto, kung dili insakto, idibuho ang bulan. And that and that's teachers inputs questionnaire. Next is Next is current assessment practices chart. As shown in the table, there is a bilingual. Bilingual means you know how to speak two languages only. The first language is mother tongue. The second language is English. In the table, the student need to find out the correct corresponding answer. In mother tongue, saging. In English, banana. Alamdag, translate to English, is science. Buhok in mother tongue, translate into English, is hair. Additionally, in, in mother tongue, laksa translate to English is 10,000. Alamdag translate to English is Wednesday. Assessment for multilingual education presentation. Multilingual, it means you learned a different languages. You can see in the question, there is a different language and there is a missing in the blank that the student need to answer. And that's the end of our discussion.
We hope that you learned some lesson about our discussion, which is the assessment of mother tongue. Thank you po
And
and
God
God
bless.
bless. Bye-bye.